What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live show on the forecast. YouTube tried to shut my channel down, so it took the last video down. And but we back up in the building. What's going on, Al? And everybody who's coming in, y'all need to be subscribed to my other channel, the Forecast Radio 24, because I'm about to upload another video. As soon as we done here, I'll probably have a live premiere on my backup channel, and it's in the description. What's going on, time to work? So y'all definitely want to be subscribed because I don't know if the video is going to even last. That's why I'm gonna try to live premiere it. YouTube is definitely trying to silence me. But I appreciate everybody for coming through or whatever. And even after this conversation, I don't even know if YouTube gonna allow the whole thing because I'm getting tired of it and we gotta expose what's going on. But Christopher Johnson, what's going on, bro? That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe. It's in the description because the video will be up in probably another hour, hour and a half. What's going on, Black man? Misty, what's up? Yeah, the channel they're gonna block this channel if I try to put another video up. So, you know how YouTube do it. But we still gonna have this conversation. Yeah, yeah. My channel was just blocked. They took the last video down, and I plan on putting that video back up too. So, you never know. That's why I'm saying you gotta subscribe to both channels. But either way, we're gonna take some calls tonight. And I also always say, to the trolls that always try to call troll on my channel, you welcome to call in anytime you want and, try your luck or whatever. But, I don't know if y'all saw what has been going on with the brother Deshaun Jackson. They are reprimanding this brother right now because of a post that he put up, talking about the Jews, right? And yeah, definitely. So you definitely want to subscribe. But I'm getting tired of this whole anti-Semitic talking point, and that talking point needs to be destroyed. They always want, to put us in a certain position, and they're trying to make sure this brother is punished. And of course, he had to come out and do his apology. But you can't get me on certain stuff because I know the actual truth about at least what's going on in America. And the truth is, nobody is more anti-Semitic than the people who say people are anti-Semitic. Because the black people, Facebook group, not really, because I know Facebook is worse than YouTube. That's why I never put up my videos on Facebook. Facebook is definitely worse than YouTube. But I'm gonna find another avenue. I'm gonna try to, make a mailing list or something to send the videos out. When I get to where I need to be, I'll create an app or something, and I got all the videos I ever did saved, and they'll be somewhere for people to get. But either way, I'm gonna put up the number, and I want y'all to call in. Yeah, you know, I don't know about. I'm not even gonna get into the discussion on some religious aspects, but I mean, it's just what their community have done to us. But then they turn around because they try to use that anti-Semitic thing as a way to say, well, black people are racist too. When number one, black people are not racist against Jewish people. I mean, for the most part, unless you deal with them on a constant basis, you just see another white person for real. But this whole talking point of you're anti-Semitic because ask the people in Palestine who is anti-Semitic, right? They do know that Arabs are Semitic, and ask the Ethiopian Jews who are anti-Semitic. Now, just speaking on what happened just coming with us here in America, right? Like, you got to understand that the Jewish community, they were kicked out of England before the slave trade even happened. And they ended up going over there with the Dutch, mingling in with the Dutch people. So when the slave trade started, it was them who was all the Dutch lands, it was them heavily involved, right? Understand how they get down. They were the first ones to make slaves be able, like they made slaves sold on credit. They held credit for slaves. They were the first ones to be creditors. They financed most of it. And of course they had their owners. Now, that's not to say there wasn't white on white violence between them and other Europeans. But the point is, they were as involved in the slave trade as anybody else. Now, I won't say they're more involved because they was all fighting each other for control over it. But they were as involved as everybody else, even though they always try to hide their hand. See, what they did was finance most of the slave trade. They were the money behind it, pretty much. But what we have to understand about the groups, and even going back in the day, right, when the Irish, the Jewish, they weren't considered white really. But what these other groups do is they will go after us to prove a point to try to earn their whiteness, right? That's the danger of trying to link up with all these other allies. Now, even though the Jewish people and the Irish won't really accept it as white, they were the ones that created blackface to entertain white America. And they came up with some of the most deadliest concepts that got so many people lynched. But the first one was an Irish person, but most of the blackface actors were Jews and Irish. And most of them were people that were groups that were trying to be accepted. And you can compare that to groups today. But they have a racist history as much as anybody. And the first thing first, before a Jewish person can criticize or talk about a black person's struggle or their struggle or our struggle, they have to start kicking up some of that reparations money. I mean, I'm missing something. I didn't think America was murdering Jewish people as they say Hitler was. But America is giving up reparations. Do you know it was a black president that gave Jewish people reparations? A same president that when he talked about reparations for black people, he talked about building schools in South Carolina for everybody. But he went there and he said, the Holocaust was the greatest atrocity ever, right? Something that lasted, a few years. Do you know Black Wall Street was uh Black Wall Street, that was that was a massacre in itself. Rosewood, Florida, that was genocide in itself. But these people still come up to us and tell us how we're supposed to behave and how we're supposed to act. But I don't know if y'all remember that video of that black cop who tried to write a ticket over in the Jewish community. Right? They broke his tow truck, and all he could do was just run away. And I don't know if y'all remember the Crown Heights riot back in 1991 when the Jewish dude just ran over a couple of children. But the difference in them is they stay on code. They have each other's back no matter what. And the moment somebody says something about them, they come out and they shut that down. Now, I'm not saying to, look at them any certain kind of way. I'm saying to learn from their actions. Learn from how, they silence you and they make you pay if you do something or say something against them. I mean, we can learn how to do that ourselves. Um, Read some of y'all. What's going on, y'all? Yeah, education is our reparations. But when it came to the Jewish people, he sat up there and gave a long speech. Now, their history wasn't taken from them. They had a military to go in and occupy somebody else's land. That's why before they can say anything to me, I'm not really trying to hear anything unless they come in with some of that reparations money they're getting. And you will never hear them apologize. But all of a sudden, when it's some against them, they all will come out and speak about it. Now, one thing I will say about them is right there on when Larry David said something about Jewish people that was sketchy, they reprimanded him. But they have no problem disrespecting you, right? They'll like people like Michael Jackson, they'll rob all of his money with these contracts. And then he made a song, not even talking negatively about him, but they'll take it out the song. They'll make sure he doesn't, you know, what happened to Michael Jackson, right? I heard somebody say, when Jada Kiss said it in the line, we stack chips like Hebrews. It's not even a negative thing, not even something negative. When Jay-Z said in his song, talking about Jews, they reprimanded him. And it don't even be anything negative. It'd be something telling our community to focus on wealth, building an economy. But a negative stereotype that can be in there all day long. In fact, you should put it in there. And who makes the most money from all of it? Now, I mean, it's nothing you can really say to me about anti-Semitism. No, nothing was taken from them. It was always given to them. Now, it's not me saying this. This literally just the last couple of 100 years in history. They've been expelled from multiple countries, unlike European countries. And that's white on white crime. And like I said, they've always had their issues. But notice how they always got on code when it came to us, no matter what they were. Now, I mean, I'm sure a lot of y'all know more about, the Jews than I do. And I definitely want y'all to call in or whatever. But we talking about current history right here, right now in America, and how they treat us right here, right now, but what they demand from us right here, right now. And we give in. Well, the people with something to lose all give in, I should say. Now, as long as they control stuff and we got to fight to get pieces of paper with, their dead heroes who enslaved and murdered us. Right? As long as we doing that, then there's a problem. Yeah. But that's the thing. They stay on code and they know how to not break that code for anybody. And in the video I'm talking about staying on code ever and how we need to protect ourselves. And yeah, they cornered the media and banking industries. But the problem for them is the internet changed the game. Like even right now, it's no telling how many people really listen to us. Right? At first I used to think these numbers was real, but it's really no telling because they are listening to us as well. And if they shut down speech like this, not just from me, but from everybody, who do you think is in control of it? If you want to know who conquered or who won the wars, ask yourself, what language are you speaking? What religion are you following? But I'm gonna put up the number in a second. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put the number up. Y'all can call in or whatever. The number is 804-601-4015. Yeah, they write the history, but you can look at history from everybody's side, even their side, especially their side. And of course they're going to whitewash all the history. That's why right now, if you say something negative, they're going to make sure you don't say anything. Right? Hitler was one person who, killed so many people. But was he any different? Or, I mean, people like King Leopold exist, but he did far worse. So why aren't we talking about that history? That's our issues. They're going to make sure their negative stuff, you know about it so it doesn't happen again. But they're going to make sure that we don't know about the negative stuff so they can keep doing it over and over and over. We have to understand that it's not like they're super creative. They just keep reinventing the same thing over and over and rewording it different ways and taking different approaches, but it's always the same thing. Like if you notice, all of their talking points, I mean, James Baldwin debunked all of these in the 1950s. I mean, Ida B. Wells called it out in the 1800s. It's the same thing over and over. King Leopold, well, not to call him king, but Leopold destruction is still felt in the Congo right now. But we have to learn as a people how to get on that wavelength. And we have to understand that we have no friends. And most of the people who try to be allies, they do that to keep us docile, even if they set fire to places and stuff like that. Then we started to get comfortable, like, oh, okay, well, maybe they're against it too. It doesn't matter what they do, it only matters what we do. And we don't not only need to learn our history, we need to learn their, we need to learn history from all angles. We need to study our enemy like they study us, because they definitely study us. Exactly. And tell me where, anywhere other than, the South in America, where somebody has won a war and their flag still flies. If his presence is not still there, then no statues would be there. Just like you have to ask yourself, who really won the Civil War? Have you ever seen somebody's flags fly that lost the war? Yeah, they have their own police. That's why they kicked that black brother who was a cop out of the area for trying to write a ticket. Now, what you think would happen if a black cop accidentally shot a 16-year-old? I'm not even gonna say put a knee on the neck. I'm gonna say accidentally shot a 16-year-old Jewish kid. What do you think his fate will be? But that's the difference. When people know that it's consequences to their actions, then there's an issue to that. And the person who controls the money, like Misty said, is in control of the game. But real money, real wealth is the natural resources that happen to be, most of it happens to be in nations where people that look like us is. But just because we speak a different language, then we can't be on the same page as them. Now, look, fight their wars. They do all of that stuff. But they can come together and have things like the Berlin Conference and split up all of our stuff amongst themselves. They said, well, look, let's just stop fighting over it. Right? We're just going to split all of it up. I mean, they all have different languages and different cultures. And anybody can call in. The number is right there on the screen. It's 804-601-4015. But anybody who says the word anti-Semitism and say black people are anti-Semitism is really practicing anti-Blackism at the end of the day. Yeah, everybody is open. Well, do you know why? Because we accept it and we allow it. Like when they first showed up, no matter where we were, everybody, all of us, everywhere, because we didn't come from, like, my opinion, we didn't come from one place. We all come from all over. And wherever we met them at, we always welcomed them with open arms and welcomed them in. And they've used deception over and over. And with their statistics, they use deception, right? Like when people talk about black on black crime, they will use certain tricks to make their argument fit. Like in one case, they'll account for population and say black people commit the most crime. But then they won't account for population, say white people get shot by the police the most. Right? Both of those things, well, you can't really say that's true either way, but it's certain ways that they word their arguments because it's all about deception. And they have to, be in control of our minds and what we think. All right, we got the first caller. What's going on, my brother? Hello?
What's good, Corey?
Yeah, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro?
You got it.
Yeah, man. Hello?
Am I on?
Yeah, you on?
What's good, everybody in the chat? And you was talking about the pretend Jews. And, Farrakhan always get on their ass for reading that on like Farrakhan. Because Farrakhan Muslims in Russia, and the rest of Europe, which was predominantly what Christian, and they wanted to have their own ethnicity or their own, they wanted to stand out from them. They didn't want to be with the Christians or the Muslims, so they converted Judaism. And there's all kind of shit in the Bible that'll tell you that they didn't like the real Jew. I don't know which chapter verse it is, but it says those that to pretend they are Jews, but they are from the synagogue of Satan. But I mean, the shit goes back, and it's proof to tell you who they are. They try to cover up, and that's why anybody that attacks them and said they're not Jewish, they attack them. Even their own people have come out and said that they are converted Jews. It's Arthur, one of their own people, wrote this book. Y'all can read the book. I'm sure it's probably an audio book on YouTube. But the author name was what was this guy's name? Arthur Kessler, and he had a book out called The 13th. What was it called? The 13th tribe, I believe it was. They say it's 12 tribes of Israel. So he called them the 13th tribe. And he was going on explaining how they converted and why they converted. Well, they ended up killing his ass. And this is their own people. And I want to say something about when they was in Germany. And the reason they did them the way they did, because they were the rich class in Germany. And they treated them people so damn bad. They had all the money, and the Germans was in there starving. So that's why Hitler treated their ass the way they did. That shit go deep, man. But if anybody want to find out anything about these pretend Jews, you can find that shit on YouTube. Usually the shit gets taken down, but people repost it or upload it again.
Yeah, I appreciate that, my brother.
No problem, bro.
All right. Yeah, I feel what my brother is definitely saying. And it's never been our way because they've always thought it's just projection, right? And I'm pretty sure some people heard Farrakhan say it on the Donahue show. They fear that we will do to them what they have done to us, but history just simply does not say that, right? How Hitler decided to get out of oppression was murder everybody, right? But they've been murdering all of us for hundreds of years, and we've never done, like, we've had few people fight back. No, a lot of people fight back, but our aim was never to kill all white people. That has never been our aim. Or you can't find, if anything, black people are the most apologetic about being pro-black. That's just the only thing that my issue is, because I'm just like not gonna be apologetic about it, because we always have to say, well, no, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not worried about it, because they're not worried about offending me. Like Tom the Work said, we have to find a way to get out of this mess. And the thing about what America understood is that it was easier to control children as slaves than somebody who was grown and knew freedom before, because the person who knew freedom is going to try to fight. Now, like I said, like, they came here to America and they established themselves like every other group. See, that's what we have to realize. They are separate groups. Like, they'll identify as Irish American, Italian American, Jewish American, but they're, under the banner of white American. They've been accepted. They've earned their white card. And you can't go into their community and just walk down the street, but they can come into your community and buy everything around them. And everybody needs us in this position because they are in their position because of it. We've made the world fortunes. Rap music alone has made them fortunes. And that's just in the last few years. Um, right. And how do we get on code? Well, we have to leave our tribal issues at the door and realize that we are in a war. We didn't start the war. It is what it is. But we have to be ready to protect each other. And not wanting to lose our kids, not wanting any more casualties can be the thing that we unite on because we all agree on that. And how do we do it? We all know the answers. And that's what they try to keep from you. And that's why they don't want us to know history, because every time we have done our own thing, we have been successful. But they came with violence to stop it, because you can't be in control of your own economy, because they need you to come to them to do the work. Misty, call in, sis. Y'all call in 804-601-4015. Um, we are in a position right now where we can be anything that we want to be. We can create whatever history that we want to create right now. We can come up with a new name right now once we get on code. All right.
Bakari.
Yo, what's going on, brother Bakari?
To accept, press 1. To send voicemail.
What's going on, Bakari?
Peace, my brother Forecast. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, bro. What's going on?
Yeah, man, I hear you doing good show as usual. Bringing some good information. But I want to say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about code. First code you got to get on, man. Black people have to be willing to accept who they are.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Misty, call right back in after this call. Go ahead, brother.
Black people have to be willing to accept who they are. Black people don't want to be. First of all, now you got a lot of them don't want to be black. They're people of color, they're a minority, they're everything except black people of African descent. We want to be the real Jews. And I'm not trying to, you know what? I'm about unity, but I'm not trying to insult anyone's beliefs. But I follow Dr. John Henry Clark, and there's just certain things that I've learned. Jew is the root word to means a Jew is short for jewelry. That's where it comes from. We argue over religion and we argue over all of these ancient roots instead of looking and see who we are right now and work on that. So if we are the real, whatever they say we're the real, I'm going to tell you just like I asked the guy on Facebook, what are we willing to do to take what we have? When those brothers and sisters from the NFAC stepped out here in Atlanta, I went down there and met up with the brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. What are we willing to do? We can't keep talking about we have all this information and we smarter than this and we smarter than that and we the real Jews and they doing this to us. If we have all this information and we so smart and we the real whoever and they the fake whatever, how in the hell is the fake constantly kicking the real ass? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's time for us to fight. It is absolutely time for us to fight back. And I ain't trying to cause no problems on your show, but I've been telling you this, right? I've been saying I think this is what we need to do, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to have to create more black militias. We are going to have to marching with signs. Ain't going to do nothing no more.
Hey, you saw those
thing that we want.
Hey, you saw those brothers down there in Atlanta, I think it was?
I met down there with them.
Okay, that's what's up.
Anything anything that we want, we're going to have to take. What you say, they can come to our neighborhood and do anything, right? Mm-hmm. But we can't go do nothing. We have to stop apologizing for being pro-black because it makes people uncomfortable. When I say I'm pro-black, somebody asks me, well, does that mean you anti-white? Well, it can mean whatever you want it to mean. I'm not defining my pro-blackness to you to make you feel comfortable with me. And we have to stand on that. We have to stand on that, not just on YouTube, not just on Facebook. We have to stand on that out here in these streets. We have to stand on that when we go down here to these city council meetings. They didn't even want me to come to the city council meeting no more because of the things that I stand on, and I told them in the city council meeting, shit gonna change. I'm one of the rebellious black people. I shoot back. Hopefully I shoot first. Man, you got to be willing to let these people know that you're not afraid. I'm not saying have a death wish, but I'm going to be honest. Anything that we want, anything you feel is deserved, even when people be talking about we are owed reparations, what are you willing to do to take it? Are you willing to take a life? Are you willing to put your life on the line? Because you know what? Ain't nothing else going to change what's going on in this country that has been going on for hundreds of years in this country. It's been going on thousands of years throughout history. This is an ancient war, and I'm like Khalid Muhammad. I'm tired. We done reached our hands out and tried to be your friend. Y'all don't want our friendship. And when I say white, I ain't just talking about the Europeans. That's everybody that ain't black. They don't want our friendship. Now black people saying we gonna boycott Goya foods. But I never bought any Goya foods anyway. But I'm sick and tired of black people saying we gonna boycott. How about make a damn lifestyle change? How about just get to the point to say, because your boycott means you want people to treat you better. So how about make a lifestyle change and say support black businesses? Stop worrying about a boycott. Let's support one another. And the things that we don't have, let's put our money together and build it so we can have it. We are some excellent people. We are smart, brilliant, and talented. The time is up for us being the beggars of society, hoping people will be our friend, hoping people will do something for us. Time is up for all that. This time is do or die. It's do or die. And with the way things are going, just my honest opinion from what I see, I won't be here. But the next 50, 75 years top, black people in this country, black people in this country is going to be extinct unless we make a change, unless we make a stance and make a change right now. It starts right now. Because I don't want my kids and my grandkids to have this conversation when they are my age. The change starts right now. To hell with a boycott lifestyle change. I'm not knocking anyone who want to boycott, but I hope your boycott can help you understand lifestyle change so we can put our money together. We can have jobs for one another so we can create jobs for one another by creating businesses. That's why our unemployment rate is higher than everyone else. Because we don't have the businesses that everyone else has. So when they get business, they can have their people. We go to everybody else looking for a job. The change is now. No if, no ands, no buts, no maybe. You have to make a stance and a change right now. Man, I thank you for letting me call in, brother Forecast.
Yeah, I
appreciate
appreciate
one love, my brother.
I appreciate that, my brother. Oh yeah, Misty, call back in, sir. Yeah, he's definitely right. You know, it has to start with us right now, and you know, we all understand what we have to do. It's just a matter of doing it. And you know, the brother said, you know, Hitler said, how could a black man, how could Hitler? He asked Americans, how can they judge him while oppressing others? Well, you know, that's why they started putting that campaign forward, like they were accepting to us. All right. Hey, what's going on, Missy?
Hey, sweetie. Was that Brother Bakari
Yeah.
that just spoke?
Yeah, that was Bakari.
I thought so. I'm starting to recognize his voice.
Yeah.
He said it all. He said it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I on now? I have to wait, or how's it going?
Huh?
Am I on now, or am I
you,
waiting?
No, you on now. Well, how you
Oh,
feel
holy
about it?
crap. You could have warned us, sister. I
Sorry,
just wanted to say I'm reading the majority of the statements everyone is making, which is good. We're having a conversation that needs to be held, but we also need to get some work done in our communities. And Brother Bakari was absolutely right. The time is now. The momentum is definitely high. They're pissed. They're angry. And slightly scared. Not a whole lot, but I think Grandmaster Jay put a little shake in their asses. What was it, on the 4th of July? So if they weren't aware of him, we all know that they are definitely aware of him now, and he has no problems in stating, how he feels, and he's telling the truth. We don't stand up now for ourselves collectively, like Brother Bakari said, we're dead and stinking. And they always know you pick one person, it's kind of like you chop the head of the snake off and the body will die. They know that. And they also know that there are actually no black leaders. They made sure of that. But we can all be leaders in our own communities. We have kids that hopefully can grow up. I mean, they're kicking our ass with the racism and the coronavirus. There is no break, and there definitely is no pause. But there is time that we have to meet with our families, to get supplies that we need, because the shit hasn't really hit the fan yet. And if we don't learn how to sustain ourselves even more, we're going to be on worse trouble. And the youngins in the hood, come on now. First off, they can't shoot straight. Second off, they don't know certain caliber gun. You hold your gun in a certain position because of the caliber and the kicking of the bullet. They need to meet people. Our elders and our younger men, 40s and 50s, whatever, need to take somebody's male child and female child and take them under their wing and impart that information. Being an elder, I realize our job is to teach the generations that are under us and coming up. If we don't teach them, they won't be able to survive. Had not the elders taught us in parables that they spoke and the actions that they showed, they taught us how to be who we are now. But I look at the younger generation, I'm glad to see they were out there. But in the meantime, I'm still a little afraid to see these youngins take over. You have to have a command of the English language, and if somebody on here can tell me what fitting to do means or fitting to get ready means, I appreciate that. But we have to realize who we are. That's why I ask, are we more? I'm actually doing the research to find out who are we. I know that I'm other than Misty Chin, but who am I? You were speaking about culture. What is my culture? The culture here? What tribe was I taken from, or was I already here? When my ancestors already here trading with the Native Americans before white folks came and just pillaged and just did everything ass backwards. We don't know who we are. The majority of us don't know who we are. And thank you for the forum. I appreciate it. One love, one life.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Misty. That's why I like you to call in. I appreciate that. Was knowledge right there.
Thank you, sweetie.
All right.
Stay safe.
All right, you too. Yeah. Misty and Brother Bakari, they said it, right? Who are we? And that's why it is important why other groups, because that's why they use this anti-Semitism thing to try to compare it to what we've been through, saying, well, everybody's been through it. Well, the difference between them is, most of us can't tell you who our great-great-great-great-grandfather was. We can't tell you exactly where we came from. But if you ask them, our Irish American came from Ireland, right? A German came from Germany. So when they try to compare that Irish slavery stuff, because they were indentured servants, meaning they came over here, they got their land, then they got freedom, and most times they was the overseer. All right, take this next call. Brother Muhammad. Hello? Hello?
Big bro, how you doing?
What's going on, my brother Maurice Muhammad?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Yes, sir. Am I live now?
Yeah, you on, my brother.
Oh, okay, praise be to Allah. Thank you, big bro. I'm very happy that you took the time to do this program because it's something that we need to really talk about and understand how deep this thing actually goes. You know, I was on Facebook the other day and I came across a post where a brother who had a picture of Minister Farrakhan, and he was talking about the death threats that Minister Farrakhan got. And so this fake ass Jew was replying to the message and was trying to get the black guy to say that Minister Farrakhan is a hater and all this shit. And he's talking about how he's so afraid when he listens to Farrakhan, and it makes him afraid. And so now this brother, who's supposed to have been somebody who followed Minister Farrakhan, somebody who quote unquote loved Minister Farrakhan. Now this nigga gonna tell me to fall back and let him deal with it. Now I'm looking how this fake ass Jew talking to this nigga and talking about the minister. So I already know that he don't know he ain't capable of dealing with this bullshit. See, we gotta let these niggas who wanna be friends with our enemy, we gotta let them know that shit don't work no more. And if you wanna jump on their side, we'll fuck you up too. And that's the way we gotta be. Because these niggas think that they can get along with these demons who are our enemy. Now this fake Jew told the brother in very clear language, he said, don't force me to have the police come after black youth and use police brutality against their anti-Semitic. So what he's saying? He's saying that black youth are anti-Semitic and we're going to make the police fuck them up. Now that's what his message was. Now, they didn't just say that shit on Facebook alone because in the Knesset, where they make laws in Israel, the goddamn one of the lawmakers stood up and said the same damn thing, that they will send the police in black communities to kill our youth because they're anti-Semitic. If you do the research, more and more of these fake bastards are saying that our black youth are anti-Semitic. When first of all, we can't be anti-Semitic because we are Semitic. We are Semitic. Here are these fucking Europeans who are not Semitic claiming to be what they're not, then sending the police in to deal with our children in a way that will cause our children to lose their lives. Now they say that shit in our faces. In our faces. Then what the fuck we gonna do? Are we gonna hook out and ain't gonna open their mouth because you talking about a fucking fake ass Jew that's walking around in your name? In your name. They not real. As the one brother said, they are the synagogue of Satan. That's who they are. And that's in the goddamn Bible. So why the Christians scared to open their mouth up and say that? Huh? They not scared to say, we're going to fuck your children up. They not scared to say that. See, when I say that this is war, I ain't playing. Our enemies ain't playing. They not playing. But we want to act like this shit ain't real. But this is real. And they saying it in the public. They saying it in the public. So when you see Deshaun Jackson say what he said, and I watched Skip and Shannon talk about it, and Skip, when they got to the Minister Farrakhan part, Skip, Shannon was like, well, why we gotta always denounce somebody because they say so? We don't do that to them. Skip say, well, Deshaun needs to be suspended. Fuck that. Who are you? Who are you to say that what he's speaking, he's not allowed to speak? He's not allowed to speak. So Hitler is not the worst thing on the planet. Hitler wasn't no special cracker. He was just as bad as the fucking cracker that shot up the church. Just as bad. He was just as bad as the cop who put his knee on Floyd. Just as bad. All of them are the same. All of them. Hitler ain't no fucking what do you call it, a once in a lifetime aberration? This is who they are. All of them. All of them, goddammit. And it's time that when they throw that bullshit anti-Semitic, that we stand up and fuck them up. It's just that time. Fuck them. They ain't got no power over us. They ain't got shit. What does this motherfucking fake Jew do for you? What do they do for you? They don't do a goddamn thing but hurt you, do shit behind your back to take your freedom, to take your liberty. What kind of man? Think about it. Deshaun is a grown man. And so because he said words, so another grown man gonna say, and you gotta apologize. When did these motherfuckers become your master? When did they do that? When? Ain't no Jew stood for you. Ain't no Jew did a goddamn thing for you. Nothing. So we owe them nothing but an ass whooping. But an ass whooping. That's what we owe them. And goddamn it, we better be ready on demand to issue that shit out. To issue that shit out. I don't know sweet talk nobody, goddamn it. We ain't gonna sweet talk nobody. And our brother that's in the AFC, I appreciate our brother, but I don't like the weak talk that I hear from our brother. Ain't no such thing as we gonna get along with them and we appreciate the cracker. We don't appreciate shit from the cracker. Crack ain't gave you nothing. The crack ain't did shit for you. So we gotta say it how it needs to be said. And if we can't say it how it needs to be said, then sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Because we don't need to be sending mixed messages. This ain't no goddamn show and tell. This not, you ain't in a kindergarten, goddammit. This is real. This is real. These motherfuckers say they sending the beast after our babies. So we better understand what the fuck is going on and be able to stand up like men. Stand up like men. Because we got some ass whooping to do. And it ain't no negotiation. And it ain't no being friends. It ain't none. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up. For those who like to call on Dr. Khalid Muhammad's name and say how much you respect and love our brother, but you get up in front of our people and you talk that bullshit, that weak talk, that weak shit, and have no plan, no nothing. As the sister said, when got to prepare our children. We got to prepare our children. We're at war, and if our men and our boys don't understand how to hold a weapon, don't understand how to fire, how to reload, how to correct a misfire, don't know how to move in silence, don't know light discipline, noise discipline. And we have a manhood class every Saturday. Every Saturday, 12 o'clock. You sign up. We ain't playing. We're building a new reality. We're building a world. And that world has to be protected and defended. I thank you, dear brother, for allowing me to come on and say these words. And I thank you for having the guts and the courage to put a program on like this, as much as your channel is being targeted. As much as your channel is being targeted. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate what you do. Because this is real. This is real. They ain't targeting you for nothing. They targeting you because you about to work. The message that got to be understood, and you ain't fucking afraid to say it. You ain't afraid to say it. That's why our channel stays in the issue with the cracker. But we say fuck them, because we're going to do what we got to do regardless. This is what we're born to do. I thank you, dear brother.
I appreciate it, my brother, man. That was deep, bro. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right,
sir.
Man. Thank you, man. I'm
back on the road, so I'm gonna go ahead and hang up and listen.
All right, my brother.
But like I say, anytime you need me, I'm just a phone call away.
All right, definitely. We're gonna do another program soon, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, he definitely dropping it. And the dude Joseph, you're welcome to call in if you want to. I dare you to call in. But I'm pretty sure that you're not. The number right there on the screen is 804-601-4015. But the brother, Maurice Muhammad, he said a lot, and it's all factual. And with Deshaun Jackson, if you remember the other white boy who was on the Eagles, he was caught on camera saying nigga to a bunch of people, just in the concert saying nigga, nigga, nigga. Right? They said, all right, we just gonna find them. We ain't gonna suspend them. We're not gonna trade them. We're not gonna do any of that. Right? And I ain't even watched what Skip and Shannon was gonna say because I thought I was gonna be disappointed. Right? I listened to the other show, First Take, and Max Kellerman was talking about it, and the level of arrogance that they have, and they always try to compare this racism. And he said, I don't think Deshaun Jackson should be suspended as of yet, but he has some explaining to do. And, they can't really ever argue, against the points that he's making. They just said what he's saying is just unmoral, and they'll try to attach something else to it. But, we can attach anything in history to it because they've done some unimaginable things. But the difference between Riley Cooper and Deshaun Jackson is the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles is a Jewish person, right? All their head people, most of them are Jewish. How many black owners is it in the NFL? Now, the problem is how many players are black in the NFL, right? And that's the issue that we have amongst ourselves. But the problem with that is, right? And this is why I don't really talk about religion and I don't really get into it, because if you ask a white European Jew, or not even ask because they'll probably lie, but a white European Jew and a white Christian and a white Muslim will be on the same page when it comes to you. Now, they may go to war and slaughter each other over a religion, but when it comes to enslaving you, they'll be on the same code. But with us in religion, we will fight each other and we'll side with other people just because they're in the same religion. but that person will stab you in the back. And they use what they have to get what they want out of you. And they're going to use that power to control you. What's going on, my brother guy? I know you got something to say. You can call in, my brother. And the other guy, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna call in. But anybody can call in. The number right there on the screen is 804-601-4015. But that's the irony of it. That the problem is, and it's really self-love and a lack of trusting yourself. Now, my brother said, the courage to do this, and my brother does the same thing because they targeted his channel. But to me, I don't really think it's courage because, I'm more scared not to do something and see the same thing keep happening. Right? I mean, what more can they really do? But, that's why we have to take issue and we don't trust each other. Now, if most of the NFL is black players, why does Deshaun Jackson have to apologize for what he said? Not debate his points or say his points was wrong, but just apologize for mentioning Hitler. That's the real issue. And they never address the points that you say because they always try to use, stuff like, oh, well, you brought up Hitler and the Jews, but they're never going to talk about their real history. Because they have just as sick of history as anybody. And that's just like in music. You can say nigga, 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 but you can't say I stack money like a Jewish person. Or you have to apologize. But, what happens if we're not dependent on their system? Where we be like, I don't care what you think. This is the truth. And if he posted that, then he has to have some level of trying to get free. He, has to have at least some mindset of a Hebrew Israelite, or at least agree with what they said. So now you have to apologize for wanting to be free. Who else has to apologize for wanting to be free? Now, when you look at other places around the world, like when the Haitian Revolution happened, right? The French came back in there. They made the Haitians pay them reparations. But, European Jews get paid reparations from other places that didn't even have anything to do with it. And do you know who was the first one to sign up for the war? It was us. And like the brother had said earlier, Hitler said, how could you judge me? And that's when America tried to put on a face where they were accepting. Every time a war comes around or something they need us to do, they put on this tolerant, accepting face. Right? And you had a bunch of laws, empty laws, that was passed for black people in the 40s. And every single time we signed up so quick for one of their wars, and other places will say, what are you doing here? Because if we put half of that energy into fighting for our own freedom, it'll be a different story. And like they said, talking about, if a young kid don't know how to work their guns properly, and there's a lot of brothers out here that can show you that. But I mean, let's be real here. Most of the success stories that we have had, most of it hasn't been in the head up confrontation. Because at the end of the day, it's not black people that have nuclear bombs, but they need us to be compared to them as if we are as racist as them. Well, we don't have an army. We don't have a nuclear bomb. We don't have a police force to enforce our system. You can't tell me one law that a black person said passed that forbid any European from doing anything. Not in America. And the ones that were passed, they were just disregarded. Anybody who want to call up, because y'all need to be subscribed to the backup channel. The other video is about to be up soon. Um, Waiting on it to upload. Hopefully it'll go up. I'm gonna just upload it as a live premiere, just so we can see what happens. But yeah. So anybody who want to call in, number is right there on the screen. Is 804-601-4015. Now, we have to understand that it is unity. They, like I said, they understood that making a slave is easier, right? If you use the children. And that's why they, banned the slave trade, not because of some moral reason that they had. And a lot of things that they cover up as them doing as some moral, they have cynical reasons behind it. But in World War II, black people had to fight just to be a part of it, because they've always had a thing about arming black people. And after every war, right, it turns out that they were kind of right, because black people wasn't playing no more. Right? They, after every single war, black people would come back strapped up, right, trained, and when they saw injustice, they were ready to stand on it. Right? And they fought back. America's only problem is they would have lost every single war, or whoever won the war would have lost if they didn't come to black people. That was their only issue. But, when they came back from war, we all know what happened. We know that they would come back from the war and they couldn't eat at a restaurant. Hell, they'd be lynched. Do you know how many World War II veterans were lynched? Right? Every veteran from every war. Right? And they do things like lock people like Muhammad Ali up and call him anti-Semitic. Right? Because he believes in black power. But black power to them is anti-Semitic. That's why we have to understand. It's just that we're coming from a European viewpoint of it all. Right? Because we've been Europeanized, Americanized. Right? And some of us is actual African Americans. Right? And I know some people would say, I'm not. But, we're not even, getting into that. But that's a part of the problem. We split ourselves up into too many things, and like Brother Bakari said, and everybody who called in said, we are in a position to where we can create whatever it is that we want to create. We can be whoever we want to be. We can create councils right? Not only to, you know, grow our businesses, but, you know, just to have our own politics. Because to the dominant society, our lives are politics to them. That's why they throw around these words. But you know, like I said, anybody can call in. You know, you want us to be subscribed to the backup channel, and it's in the description because the new video will be going up. And you know, I'm trying to get that together right now to make sure that it can go up. I have to you know, live stream these to see if it go through. So, you know, it should be another live stream in about like 30 minutes or so. But all right, we'll take the next call. Hey, Misty, what's going on?
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
Hey, Misty, what's going on?
Hey, sweetie, you just gave me a good idea. You said something earlier that they're messing with your channels, and we all have experienced that. But listen, you know, those of us that come in, is there any way that we can exchange or get a list of who we are in the event we have to go from plan A to plan Z? Because you spoke about Black businesses. I'm sure each and every person that's on this chat right now has something that they're good at, that we can turn into a business, or that we can exchange, or whatever the case may be. We're not utilizing our natural skills. Like, I love to crochet. I love to shoot pool. I love to write. You know what I'm saying? But there's got to be some way that we can continue to keep in contact with each other, because if we weren't in agreement, you know, to a certain percentage, none of us would be here. So can we, you know, find a way to utilize each other's strengths or each other's skills, except for these idiots that we all seem to be able to pick up on their stupid asses real quick. You know, I would hate to see us not be able to come together and do some, you know, things that's conducive to us as a people. Like, I want to know, who the hell am I? Who am I? I see the Moor in the boat with George Washington. You know, some of the pictures they take them out. Who are the Moors? And this is something that I'm researching. You know, what was the original name of Africa before some cracker named it Africa? You know, but I'm sure there's a way that we can exchange a mountain of information that will be helpful, you know, to each other in the long run. Because, you know, a warrior does not go to war without a plan. They don't, you know, and I think that's one of the things that helped get Brother Malcolm killed. He was ready to take our plight to the UN. You know, they said, "Oh no, Slim, not." No, the same thing with Martin Luther King when he said, he talked about the Vietnam War and what an atrocity that was. Then just before they took him out, he said, "I'm afraid that I'm sending my people into a burning house."
Thanks.
And before we set foot into another burning house, if we don't find a way to come together collectively, again, we're dead and stinking. And that's what they're betting on. You know, like I just typed a few minutes ago, if enough people, forecast had not spent a black dollar last week, it'd have been all over CNN, NBC, and ABC, whatever the hell it is. Oh my God, these Negroes ain't spend no money. We'll make a difference, but we have to value ourselves as well as our dollars. And, you know, when my parents and my grandparents were doing what they had to do to stand up to the white establishment and incarceration and the lies and the ass whippings, they did that so I wouldn't have to do it. Well, what the hell? I had to do it. And now I'm watching my son and my daughter have to get out here and fight for their children. So this shit is generational. But somewhere I'm with Brother Bakari Falcon. has to stop. But if we don't take hold of this momentum now, like when they went and painted Black Lives Matter yesterday in front of Trump Towers, I'm sure he did have to go get some kind of cognitive test. I know he lost his fool ass mind. But if we don't keep it going, each person has at least one thing that they can contribute to what's happening for our children and my great-grandchildren in the future. Give up the mic. Thank you, sweetie.
All right. Thank you, sis. Yeah, appreciate it.
Sure, not a problem. You know that.
All right. Yeah, I mean, she the sister said it all. Right. It's gonna take, Black unity, and they understood that Black unity is the Messiah, and often they like to use people like Martin Luther King, right? But I'm not trying to get shot in the face, so I'm not gonna be all peace loving like Martin Luther King was, and say everybody should hold hands.
Phone.
Yo, what up, Bakari?
What's up, man? I wanted to call you back. I heard the sister just called in. What's her name?
Misty.
Yeah, Misty.
Mm-hmm.
But she was talking about business, right? I've been trying to get people to do this. I had a trash business, right? A residential trash business. Right now is the time, if you don't mind doing dirty work and making you some money while you're doing a residential trash business. But I'm going to tell you one of the fastest growing businesses in the United States, garbage can cleaning. Kirby outside your house.
Mm-hmm.
People, you just look it up online. You can find people making $200,000, $300,000 a year, 10 hours cans. See, that's what we should be able to do. So nobody else. See, that is something we should do. Should nobody be cleaning up our neighborhood? Should no trash man be coming in our neighborhood? The trash man should be us. We should be giving us that $75 every 3 months to pick up the trash. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where we can create jobs for one another. And then when your trash cans stink, got people, somebody coming through your neighborhood. That's just a couple of things. But right now, she was speaking of the momentum. My washing machine broke down, so I go to the wash interior, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go, it's Black owned. And my son is 17, and he went on a laundromat. That's what a wash interior is. I've been getting people on it. So we met the Black guy, and we talked to him. He's a good dude. Right now, he was showed us 3 laundromats right now. That was originally, he said those laundromats $850,000. 2 was owned by a Chinese dude. The other one was owned by East Indian. They are so scared to come back to the Black neighborhood that they shut it down, and they are selling it for $350,000. See, that is something we have to take care of. You know what I'm saying? That is something that we should be putting our money to go and get and take care of. If something that's worth $850,000 and we can get it for $800,000 and we can get it for $350,000, that is something a team of us need to be doing. 3, 4 of us, 5 of us. And we keep it clean until it starts to grow all of them. And we can hire people to watch it, make them 24-hour laundromats. There are certain things we can do. There's a lot of businesses that we can run. And I know everybody don't want to do things that I'm talking about, but I'm just throwing out a few ideas, a few businesses that work, that you see working, because if they didn't work, these farmers wouldn't be in our neighborhood owning the laundromat. So there's things that we can do. I just, when she said it, just made me think. And I know a lot of people say, I don't want to clean the garbage can. You can look at it as cleaning the garbage can, or you can look at it as running your own business, making money. And before you know it, you won't even be out there cleaning the garbage can. And to start that business, you might take $2,000, just that much. $2,000. I can tell you how to start the business, tell you what you need, and it does not cost that much to do a garbage can cleaning business. People want their garbage can cleaned. I actually went out yesterday and cleaned about 5 of them. You go out, $10 a can. And I just went out there and I did them for a couple of friends. Because I don't have business. I'm trying to coach somebody else into doing it. But people want their cans clean because they don't want that stink around their house. And we should be doing it. People want their trash moved. That's why they pay these companies all this money to come get their trash. Should nobody be in our neighborhood getting none of that stuff. People want to wash their clothes. laundromat. You got the laundromat going to the cleaner. Those are the things. Those are some of the things that we can do if we want to be here and we want to fight and we want to say, don't spend your money. We have to spend. I say spend our money with us. I didn't say I'm not going to spend the money, and I told people when they was asking me about it, I said I'm going to spend money. I'm just being honest. The gas station I go to, where I go fill up, is black owned. The places I go is black owned. I go online and I find black owned businesses, the things that I need. Well, I can go get them from a black owned business. Now, I did not go to the grocery store. I didn't go anywhere where it wasn't black owned. But for other things that I wanted, I searched out black owned businesses and I spend money with them on that day because I'm not going to punish a black business because I'm mad with other people. And that's what I mean by the lifestyle. I'm not boycotting. Because when we say boycott, don't spend no money, that means black businesses is going to suffer. Because we don't ever say spend your money with black business. We just want to boycott. So I was not going to allow the gas station that I go to where I go fill my gas, I was not going to let it suffer because we're boycott. No, spend your money with black people. Find black business. It's okay. You consider it inconvenient. Inconvenience yourself at times to make sure that you spend money with your people. And then after a while, before you know it, it won't even be an inconvenience because it has become, like I said before, it has become a lifestyle. And that's what we have to do. So, but I just want to call back and say that when she was speaking, she made some couple of things come across my mind. Thanks for accepting my call, my good bro.
Yeah, no doubt, my brother. I appreciate that.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. Yeah, that was, real talk, and that's how simple it is. Just it's a matter of working together. The only difference between now and 1920 is the illusion of inclusion. They hated us so bad that they wouldn't even accept our money. So we said, you know what, forget them. We'll spend the money with ourselves, and we'll hire each other, and we'll do all the things that we need to do with each other. And we built successful communities. We have hundreds of successful blueprints. The issue we've always had is learning how to defend ourselves, right? And nothing that anybody is telling you is different from what George Washington told you, what George Washington told America, right? What they said was, give me liberty or give me death. America spends the most money on self-defense for a reason. And the sister brought up the UN, but really America will look at the UN like, and what are you going to do? They understand the problem, and we have always been the biggest threat to America. And that's why they have whole systems designed to attack our families specifically. Even at our lowest point, they still have whole institutions designed against us. Right? The FBI was created to stop people like Marcus Garvey from rising up. And the thing, she said they kill a lot of our leaders. But the thing is, it's not a particular leader. Like she said, we all have to do what we have to do in our own field. Right? We all lead in certain areas. There's certain people that are good at certain things and other people who are good at certain things. Right? But the point is, they can't kill it because it's not one person. It's not me. It's the energy, right? And no matter who's gone, that energy is still going to be there until we do what we have to do. But we are the generation that is going to end all of this, right? We use their talking points against them. No, I fear for my life. I fear for my safety. No, that is anti-Blackism. When you say stuff like that, I need an apology. I don't hesitate and I don't apologize for something that is the truth. We have to build codes with each other. how we won't cross each other, how we will, just, you know, knowing that the black man's ice is colder is a part of being on code. Now, if you notice in a lot of these videos, no matter what the other person does, the person get caught stealing, they'll start a fight or whatever. And as soon as they hit that victim mode and start crying, a crowd of them will come over and comfort them and tell you, well, hey, that's enough, buddy. You need to leave her alone or leave him alone. That is being on code. I'm showing you all of this stuff because your enemy is on code. Learn from your enemy as well, because they learn from you. Now, if anybody else want to call in, any of those trolls that always try to, comment, but, I've been waiting for somebody to call in, but they won't do it. But, if anybody else got anything else to say, yeah, our ancestors left us the blueprint, definitely. And the point is not to take any more casualties, right? Revolution is not always bloodshed. Going out of the way to go support another black business is revolution. Or making sure that, kids have what they need, that's revolution. But at the same time, when somebody got a knee on one of our necks and we say, hey, that's enough, we ain't taking it no more, that's also revolution. But make sure y'all subscribe to the backup channel, the Forecast Radio 24. The premiere should be up in a minute. It say it's processing. I don't know. Sometimes it take like 30 or 40 minutes. So, I mean, it should be up within the hour. And it's going to be a live premiere. So, I'm going to be on that. Make sure y'all subscribe. It's in the description. Because it's no telling how many people really watch this. And half of the comments that y'all make get deleted. And half the replies that I try to leave y'all get deleted. But that's what they do. And look who controls the rules. Look who controls what can be said and what can't be said. And, you'll find power behind that. And when they allow others to say certain things about you, we see where they stand on that. Because we see them stand up anytime something goes on in their, community or something happens to them. We see how quick they are. But we see how slow they are when it comes to us. Yeah, revolution, because even though it's not really our people out here that was doing the looting and the rioting, it was mostly white kids, right? We can have a plan for doing that, like they did to our communities to destroy our businesses, right? The businesses that we ain't trying to have in our community, we can go there and say, you know what, you got 48 hours, 24 hours to leave, to get up out of here, right? We now control this store. And you keep it in the neighborhood. And if they don't want to leave, you can either, say, well, nobody's coming into the store no more. Y'all gonna fail. Or, you can handle it another way. But either way, the point is getting control of your own neighborhood and getting control of what's sold in your neighborhood and getting control of what's in your kids' mind, what they learn every day. Because we live in a society where they make it a law to get our kids injected with something and then sent to their school for 8 hours a day to learn fake history about stuff that didn't even happen. And then when you grow up and learn your own history and realize that all of this stuff was a lie, right? But now you're incorporated and you're apologizing because you may lose your job for saying something that's the truth. But, we can cut all that off at the head by getting in control of our kids' minds in the first place. But you know, it is what it is. Um, I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. It's much love. I don't know if you two gonna take the video down or whatever, but we're gonna be there. And this channel is still up. I'll be back, you know, soon. But you know, I appreciate the sister Missy, Bakari, um, my brother Maurice, the other brothers that called in. I'm sorry I forgot your name, my brother. But yeah, I appreciate all y'all in the chat room. It's much love. Make sure y'all go to the Forecast Radio 24. Like I'm saying, I'm not sure if the video gonna stay up, but you know, I tried to make these ones a little longer since they keep, you know, taking them down. But you know, I appreciate y'all. Much love, man. And show no fear, man. Stop submitting. And you know, once we start showing unity and the backbone and the determination that we will not lose and we will not give up, right? The enemy fears that the most. That's why they do what they do. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.